Hello and welcome back to my channel, Making It Fabulous by Colleen. In today's video, we are thinking spring. Whether it is nice and warm in your location or it's hopefully going to get a little warmer, we can start thinking about spring and changing over our makeup a little bit. So in today's video, we are going to put together a nice spring look. I am using this cute little lip scrubber. I saw Tati, who is another YouTuber on YouTube, and she was using this. And I'll tell you, it really does work. It's just a little plastic silicone thing. I did buy this, and in fact, I saw this on somebody else's video, and they say it is a dupe for the Laneige sleeping mask. So I just put a little bit of that on, and it's much, much cheaper. It comes in a little pack like this, and there's 3 of them in there. So is there 2 or is there 3? I can't remember. I don't know, but it's a sleeping mask. Even though it's a sleeping mask, I have one of these on my desk all the time, and I'm constantly using it. So this is a cute little thing. I think it would make a really cute gift for somebody to give them one of these, and even one of these and maybe a lip color. I think that'd be a nice little gift if you're going to somebody's house. Something a little different rather than wine all the time. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I am going to be going for a little pink theme today. So I'm going to be using the Pinkier Times Ahead palette by Too Faced. And this is a really pretty spring palette. The pigment in some of these shades is a little bit not as pigmented as I would like. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm also pulling out my Tartelette Juicy palette. These also have a lot of really pretty colors, and I love this palette a lot. And I'm going to use this one to start for my transition shade. But before I do that, I am going to put a little bit of concealer on my eyes for a primer today rather than using a regular eyeshadow primer. We're gonna do something a little different with concealer today. So I thought we would use this for the primer as well, so we don't have to use too many different products. I did prime my face. I put a moisturizer on, the Naturium moisturizer. I love this under makeup. It lays down so nicely and moisturizes my face beautifully. After that set in, then I did go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip with niacinamide. I'm really enjoying this primer for my face. It's doing a really nice job. Okay, so putting a little bit of liner down, and just want to make sure I get this all, or concealer, I should say. Just want to make sure I get that all down. And I'm going to set my lids with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. So we'll use this particular setting powder. It's really nicely finely milled powder. So we'll put that all over the lid to set that a little bit so that the shadows will stick very nicely to it. So how about you guys? Are you getting ready for spring? Are you excited for spring to finally get here? Last year we went home from Florida just a little bit too early. We still had a lot of the cold weather in Pennsylvania when we left Fort Myers last year. I'm gonna go in with this transition shade. I think I'm gonna mix these two together. And I'm just going to go in the crease of my eye. You can see I have a little bit of a pink top on today. So this is just to set down a little bit of a foundation for the shadows to follow. Sometimes pink can be a little tricky in terms of being patchy, being not quite pigmented enough. So I'm gonna put that particular palette down so you can see it, just kind of giving it a little bit of a base to work with. That Tarte palette is just so pretty. It's very easy to work with, but I really wanted to try this Too Faced one. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this color. It's just a little bit deeper. You can see I'm using my Real Techniques brush. I'm just gonna go right in the crease, not taking it all the way over, just right in the crease, flipping it over and taking whatever is left on that brush and just kind of bringing it up. Do that on the other side as well. What do you look forward to most when spring is here? I love all the pretty flowers, and just seems like there's so much hope in the air during springtime. I love that time of year. Okay, so that's laying down really, really nicely. Let's just try this magenta color. That is the color of the season, magenta. Ooh, can you see how pigmented that is? The last time I used this, I didn't feel as though there was as much pigment. I'm just going right over that lighter shade that I just used, just to intensify it. I'm not taking it all the way over. And again, I'm going to flick it up, whatever's left on that brush, so that when we're looking straight ahead, we can still see that pink. Let me make sure we bring it up. You can see it nice when I'm going like this, but can you see it when I'm going like this? I feel like I could just bring it up just a little bit more and just work all those shades together. All different shades of pink. Okay, that's really, really pretty. I just did a video on what color eyeshadow to choose for your eye color. And brown is not, brown eyes, typically maybe pink you wouldn't think would go with it. But in that video, I just kind of urge you to try some different shades. Try things that are a little bit outside your comfort zone. Speaking of comfort zone, I'm gonna go in with this sort of a bluish purple color. And I'm gonna put that, see, that's one that it's a shimmer shade, but it's kind of creamy. I'm gonna put that just on the center of my lid. And you can see that's laying down very nicely. I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't have a brush that I wanna use that's right here, so I'll just keep using my fingers. Just keep tapping that on all over the lid, trying not to get too much in that crease. And in fact, I'm going to just keep that amount on there, and whatever's on my brush, I'm just going to replace it in that area. So you can see I just have a little bit of it on there. Go in on the other side. The one thing I always think about when I think of spring is spring cleaning. It's always interesting that you kind of pick that time of year when you can open the windows and do all that. Okay, now I'm gonna take this really shimmer shade. That's really a pretty shade. I'm just gonna put that in the corner of my eye, just to open it up and let it pop. Let my inner pop. You can see I'm kind of dragging it up a little bit. And again, just whatever's left on that brush, I'm just going to pat, 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 so that there's no harsh lines. That's really, really pretty. I love all those colors together. Hopefully you can see that. What are some products that your go-to products for spring in terms of like cleaning your house and organizing? I feel like, that's the time to organize your junk drawer and all of that good stuff. So, okay, I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and just go into that really pink color and just put that right under my brow bone. This is a matte shade that I'm putting under here, a really light pink. Just making sure that there's no, I'm just gonna tap, just make sure there's no harsh lines on the outside. So you can see that's really, really pretty. The colors in there are just lovely. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do for the eyes. They're kind of, I probably will put a little something on the bottom just to tie it all in. I don't typically like to put pink on my bottom lash because I do not like, it makes me feel like I have red eyes or something, I don't know. But on the top lids, I am gonna go in with a L'Oreal Infallible liquid liner. So this says it has 30 hours, it lasts for up to 30 hours. Up to, that's an interesting claim, right? Okay, so we'll give this a whirl. Okay, so the top of my lids are all done. We're gonna move on to the next phase of our makeup. And this is, I'm gonna do a little concealer hack that I saw on TikTok. So, but before that, I purchased, first I actually got this Revlon Illuminous foundation, skin caring foundation. So I got this, I used it, it's way too light. So if you consider buying this, go a little deeper than you think. Even in the bottle, this might have been a little deep for me, but then when I put it on, it's definitely just fine. Okay, so this little concealer hack, I'm gonna just do this side of my face to start, and I'm just going to tap in a little bit of foundation. By a little bit, I mean a little bit. So you can see how much I put on there. So the concealer hack is to create these triangles in different places. And it kind of makes sense because it's where you would typically put concealer. Make another triangle here, but you might just put a dot. So these are triangles, the best I can to make triangles. So just making a little triangle there, a triangle here, can you see that? And I'm doing it very light. On some of the ones that I saw online, ooh, they made like really big ones. And then another one down here. Not a perfect triangle, but this was the hack. So you can see I just have it in a couple of places, and my triangles are not real huge, but they're in very specific places. So I don't know, have you guys seen that? And then you go in and you spray it with a setting spray. Oh, I forgot to put one up here. I guess we're supposed to put one right here too. My triangles leave a little to be desired, don't they? Okay, so gonna let that set in a little bit. I don't have my fan right here. And then I'm gonna take my BK Beauty brush and just tap it. So some of the ones that I watched, they didn't put any foundation down. They just put these triangles with concealer and then used the setting spray. So I only want to do half of my face so that we can see what it looks like and the difference from one side to the other. Definitely want to get around that nose. Even this foundation appears a little bit light for me, but well, this is the first time I've used this shade of the Revlon It's definitely better, but it still looks a little light. Now you might think, well, that's the concealer, and it could be. Well, I think the secret was the setting spray, which I've done that before, but you can see the difference between this side with makeup and this side without. Have you guys seen this hack on on TikTok? Like I said, a lot of them, there's different variations of it, but I don't know. I guess it's all in placement, where you're gonna place it. So I am going to now do the other side. And again, I have a little bit of this that was just like a half a pump of that foundation. I actually feel like I'm putting more on this side. And I will go in and do these little triangles. Oops. Like I said, my triangles leave a lot to be desired. Another one right here. And this is the whole idea of the triangles, is that they should all be kind of going up. You know, like this and even this, it should be going up so that it gives the face a little bit of a lift. And last but not least, on my nose. So you see a lot of the foundation, but they're literally, you can still see I have a whole bunch on the back of my hand. They're just dots. So again, I'm going to put a little bit of that setting spray on and go in with the brush and just tap it. Avoiding any, a lot of the brush strokes, just sort of tapping it in. Here I'm gonna have to. Hard not to brush. Maybe if I used my sponge, it would be a little easier, but I think it's working out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the coverage for sure. Oh yeah, that's nice coverage. No creasing under my eyes. I should try a concealer that typically will crease, although usually I just get rid of them so I don't forget which one's which. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, just finishing up the blush. Again, it's the Physicians Formula. Such a pretty, pretty color, and it will go so nicely with my pink eye look today. So there we have it. Okay, what else do we need to do? My brows. So for my brows, I am going to use the Essence Make Me Brow. And this is in, I think it's in, I don't know, I'll have to link it. It's a brown. Just put a little bit to help with any patches that I have. This isn't real, a real wet formula, so it's actually perfect for my brows. Doesn't leave too much on there. Now I'm gonna go and do my lips, and I can't find my little thing here, but I'm just gonna pat some of that lip mask off, and I am going to put the MAC Paint Pot. This is actually an eyeshadow, and one of my other YouTube favorite ladies is Shara Lee, and she uses this all the time, all around her lips, and it helps with any bleeding onto the lip, as well as just kind of gives those lips a nice little canvas for it to go on. Okay, I have been loving these NYX Smooth Whip lip products, and I think what I love about them is that they stay on for a nice long time, and they're just so easy to work with. So there is the completed look. I'm just gonna put some more setting spray on. And that has this is the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut setting spray. If you like the smell of coconuts, this smells so good. And it only smells like that until it sets in. It's not like a all day long smell of coconuts. So here's the completed look. I'm pretty happy with the outcome. I love pinks, I love purples, but this blue, it's almost like a bluish purple that was in this palette. It's actually this one, and it really did do a nice job of just giving me a little hint of color. I then also used this light pinky purple on the inner part of my lid, and using a combination of these couple of mattes on my outer corner of my lid. So this really was nice. Of course, supplementing it with my Tartelette palette. If those colors are just too bright for you, think about this one, because this just has a lot of different options, but it's a beautiful formula. It really, really is. And the concealer hack. So this particular concealer is very liquidy, and I think that might be the secret, to use something that's not too thick, and just so that it, kind of melts in nicely. And using the setting spray over it, I think that makes a big difference. And just putting a little tiny bit of foundation and then mixing it all in. And it saves a little bit of time. I think that was the other thing that I liked about it. It definitely saved some time. And of course, my NYX Smooth Whip, I have that in a couple of different colors. I also have it in the orangey shade, and I love that. So I am gonna top this with the NYX Fat Oil. This is the only shade I have it in, but and like I said, this is still pretty moist, but I just want to give it a little extra something. Just a little bit, not too much. So that is it. That is the final look. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have tried either of these palettes, or if you're going to consider trying them, or if you've tried that concealer hack. And it's like, and I'm not sure it's that much of a hack, but the idea again is to lift. So by putting a triangle here, by putting a triangle here, all of those are supposed to be lifting it up. I just liked that I could, put my foundation and my concealer and kind of mix it all together. So I feel like that worked out really well for me. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.